Hello and welcome to TVC News this hour. A British national, Wine Andrew Martin, and a Nigerian, Lucky Ehizobiya, have been declared wanted by the police for allegedly attempting to overthrow the government of President Bola Tinubu during a recent demonstration across the country. Andrew Wine, with several aliases, including Drew Povey, allegedly built a network of sleeper cells to topple the government. He also reportedly owned and operated Iva Valley Bookshop and Stars of Nations schools as a cover for his activities. According to the Force Public Relations Officer Lumuyiwa Adejobi, the suspect financed activities during the recent nationwide protest. He and his alleged collaborator, Lucky Obion, who are now at large, have been declared wanted, and a global manhunt for them has begun using Interpol. Managing Director of the National Hydropower Producing Areas Development Commission, Abubakar Yelwa, has asked the federal government to declare a state of emergency on flooding in the country. Speaking at the Commission's headquarters in Mina, Mr. Yelwa highlighted the devastating impact of the recent floods, saying more than 200 persons have died and 38 others displaced from their homes in 28 states. He attributed this to poor infrastructure, failure to follow environmental guidelines, and ineffective dam management. Nigerians are calling for a complete overhaul of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited as scarcity of petrol lingers in some parts of the country. TVC News correspondent Abibola Agbebiyi was out in Lagos State to monitor the situation. Right away from that, the federal government has handed over 20 compressed natural gas powered buses to the Oyo State government. The presentation was made by the project director and CEO of the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, Michael Oluwagbemi, to the management of Pacesetter Transport Service in Ibadan. Mr. Oluwagbemi said the initiative aims to foster a sustainable partnership towards improving the standard of living for Nigerians. He urged the management of Pacesetter Transport Service to efficiently manage the project to enable them repay and acquire more vehicles in the future. The chairman of the Transport Service Company commended the initiative and described it as a strategic solution to numerous challenges in the country. The Committee of Wives of Lagos State Officials is set to hold its 24th Annual National Women's Conference with the theme, Soar Beyond Boundaries, Enrich Communities. The theme aims at encouraging women to be self-confident in breaking boundaries in any chosen field. The wife of the governor of Lagos State, who is also the chairman of council, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, said this is during a pre-event press conference at Alausa earlier today. More than 3,000 participants are expected at a two-day hybrid conference slated for 10th and 11th of this month.
The women have been at the back seats. It's now time for you to come out more. If you look at the 33% affirmation for women, when we look at what is happening in Nigeria and compare it to some other global countries out there, we still have a long way to go. We're trying, we'll get there. We also discovered that a lot of our women had hidden potentials waiting to be explored. And what's the best way? By making them more visible, by encouraging them, by spurring them on.
The Director General of the State Government Office of Transformation and Service Delivery, Moyo Kundayo, has called on qualified engineers to actively participate on the many infrastructure projects currently on the way in the state. Mr. Kundayo made this appeal while delivering a lecture titled The Drive for Infrastructural Development and Economic Emancipation of Ekiti. He praised engineers in the state for engaging government, emphasizing the importance of delivering high-quality and standard projects. The coordinator of the Ekiti State Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Project, Sunday Adumo, acknowledged that the state government has been working closely with local engineers, particularly on road construction projects on the RAMP initiative.
There's still room for the Nigerian Society of Engineers to do more by actually engaging the state government, by interacting with agencies of government and interacting with those of us in government in Ekiti. And with such partnership, we can do better so that we can have better outcomes in our projects.
Engineers need to be trained and retrained. The idea of saying I sit in my office, I use an analog system to get, no, you must Google, you must study. You must go online and study, widen your brain about all the realities that we are experiencing now. That's just it. To me, in Ekiti State, we are doing well.
What we are saying is that it's not enough to say that engineers are involved in a project. It's important also that the professional body of engineering is carried along in infrastructural development. They can visit sites, confirm if those who are there are engineers or not, and then raise complaints, raise awareness. These people, what is happening here, we don't know about it. We want to encourage the government to do something about it.
Former Archbishop of Abuja Catholic Archdiocese, Cardinal John Onayeko, has admonished Christians to aspire more to virtue and values. Jean Francis Owens has details in this report.
The people of God gathered at St. Charles Luanga Parish in commemoration of St. Augustine Choir 30th anniversary. The event started with the Holy Mass and in carrying out the vital role of the choir in the church as described by the Archbishop Emeritus of Abuja Archdiocese, John Cardinal Onayeko. The choir led the people in the liturgy.
Singing and music is an art. It is also an integral part of worship. Every religion has religious music. We need to make it clear that in the church, music and singing is part of our worship. The people who come to sing in the choir, they know they are there. For them, it's an extension of their worship.
He further urged Nigerians to prioritize genuine piety over external displays of devotion or religious practice.
We should get the message of Jesus very clear in that particular gospel passage. When we bring it to the Nigerian level, it really hits an important lesson for us because there's so much exteriority in religion in Nigeria today.
The 30th anniversary celebration was a joyous occasion marked by a music talent hunt as a way of assisting the youth in the church.
We thought of what we will do for the church and the people. Where we are most recognized is the singing ministry. So we felt, okay, let us bring up an idea and bring up youth that will sell into the contemporary gospel music.
In the midst of the choir celebration, the Cardinal redirects the nation to the basics of humanity, irrespective of one's religion. Jane Frances Mweze, TVC News, Abuja.
And outside Nigeria, the World Health Organization has announced that Israel has agreed to limited humanitarian pauses to allow for vital polio vaccinations in Gaza. The campaign is expected to vaccinate about 640,000 children across the Gaza Strip and will commence on Sunday. Senior WHO official Rick Peppercorn says the vaccination will be rolled out in 3 separate stages across the central, southern and northern parts of the Strip. In another development, Israeli forces have withdrawn from areas of eastern Han Yunis after a 22-day military operation, with at least 9 bodies recovered so far. China has also joined calls to condemn Israel at UN Security Council meeting, stating that the same humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza must not be allowed to happen in the West Bank. At least 40,000 persons have been killed and more than 93,000 wounded in Israel's war in Gaza since 7th of October.